stand on?
Well, the problem is very simple. The budget's a balanced budget. So if we add $20 million for homeless, we have to take it from somewhere else. Homeless doesn't come under my committee, so I'm not focused on it right now.
But do you care?
Do I care? Yes. But, there's roughly, if I remember correctly, there's roughly $170 million in cuts to social programs.
Right.
And I care about all of them, but I don't know how we restore the dollars.
So where they're cutting, for me, they're cutting from the pie, but a lot of the cuts are coming from the human services.
Correct.
Well, why is that when they can come from so many other places?
Like where?
Where the money is. I mean,
no, you can't be that simple. It's
okay, why cut it from? Why cut it? Excuse me. Why cut it from human services? Why there? Why are you cutting service? Why are you cutting?
I chair the Committee on Judiciary. Police comes under my committee. The police have stopped hiring because they don't have money. It's basically if we want the force to be the same size next year as it is now, then we need $14 million. That's like a cut.
Human services,
That's
you're
like
gonna
a
have more
cut.
people on the street, you're going to have more crime, and then you're going to need a larger force. So they're going to.
Are you saying
You're
that
missing my point. It's a balanced budget. So the police have taken a hit of $14 million because they're not hiring. The homeless has taken a cut of what, $20 million? Okay, where do we find the money?
Okay.
And I'm not saying we won't. I'm just saying, where do we find the money?
I can
It's a
give you an
balanced
example. You're under judiciary. So take for instance administrative hearings on 441. That's under you, right?
budget. Yes.
Okay. For example, administrative hearings they come person by person with the same old issues. Instead of you using up so much money to wasted tax money to have those same issues done over and over again, the administrative judges can make one universal decision instead of having people streaming in and out of there day in and day out for the same thing. You can start right there.
I'm not sure I understand.
You don't understand. Administrative hearings is they're over bear with cases, the same old cases. Every time a case gets heard, it's time and it's money. When they can make a universal decision, I don't know how you're going to figure that out.
Well,
you have
that's
people,
a big question. I don't know how you make a universal decision.
Okay, well, a universal, let's say if people are coming in, I don't know, like let's say if 50, 100 people are coming in a week about this particular shelter throwing people out. There's got to be a way where you can break down those issues so that one person does not have to keep coming in for the same issues. It costs too much. Let's say if there was,
But that's a suggestion.
it's a suggestion, but there's a lot of taxpayers' money just being wasted on one person coming in and out.
Well, if you get thrown out of a shelter, you have a right to appeal.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
But the reason why you got thrown out may be different than the reason why you got thrown out. They can't do a universal decision.
Well,
But all I'm saying is it needs to be like a subcommittee or something to study those things because it's a waste of time and money.
I think at the end of the day, the onus is actually on the council to figure out where the money is because we don't have access to the entire. I mean, we can go online, but it's a science.
Eric, I'm not suggesting that you have to tell us where to find the money. What I am saying is that it's a balanced budget, and every change requires an offset. So if we put 20 million in for homeless, we have to find 20 million some other way.
Well, it's 20 million taken out of the homeless.
But
because of
that may be, but to restore the 20 million means that the 20 million has to be found from somewhere else.
What is your
And
stance
you're
on raising
saying-
taxes to the people who make 200,000,
That's in the
or
budget right
500,000? And what is your stance on
That's
that?
in the budget right
And
now.
what is your
Okay.
I am on record supporting that. But that doesn't get you the 20 million.
No, but it's a start.
No,
I mean,
it doesn't
to
get you
raising
anything.
taxes.
It doesn't get you anything.
Because I keep
because-
hearing the council members say that we can't raise the budget, but the number of people that live in the city raise each year, and the number of homeless people in the city, that increase goes up each
I
year.
understand. But if we, for instance, Jack Evans doesn't support that tax increase. if he gets his way, then he's going to create roughly, I think there's 18 million associated with that. He creates an $18 million problem.
Yes, the other thing.
So, or the other way of putting that is that supporting that
It's got to go
doesn't.
from one way to another. And someone's going to fight to have that windfall go towards them.
Your
Their
desire
resources.
for 20 million restored to homeless isn't helped by supporting the tax increase.
Well, I think any way that money is put
Right.
in is a
No.
help to them.
No.
But Councilman,
Because then they wouldn't be taking money from other areas
No.
as well.
You're dodging the question, or dodging what I'm saying. It's a balanced budget. The budget includes a tax increase. So supporting the tax increase doesn't get you more money for homeless.
But where does the tax
If you
increase
want more
go?
money for, if you
It's
want more money,
the tax increase, what he's saying is the tax increase is included to balance the budget already. That if that's all there is to.
And you're saying that
Balance
that's the
it out.
only way that the council can address the problem? That's the only way? That's the only alternative?
okay.
no.
He's asking
I'm
us
saying
to
it's a
find
balanced
way.
budget, and there are a lot of different programs that have been cut. To restore any program, the funding to any program requires either another cut or another tax increase.
Exactly. So
Okay.
That's,
Well,
that's
there's
what you're
right now
here
there
for,
is
to decide that.
right now it's not clear whether the majority votes for the tax increases in the budget.
But it's almost time for y'all to vote, and none of y'all seem to know which y'all gonna vote for.
We're not going to know for 2 weeks.
But
That's why we spend the next 2 weeks working on it.
Mr. Mendelson, but I think you know as well as I do. Well, you're over the police, and so you know as well as I do that if you put all the homeless out on the street, there's going to be increased crime, and even if it's not quote unquote crime, there's going to be increased loitering, and then you're going to need more cops to deal with the higher number of people that are on the streets, and so as you don't put enough money into homeless services, then the people who are homeless become the cops' business. And then you're going to need more cops to deal with the homeless on the street rather than dealing with them in shelter. And so all you're doing is shifting the problem from inside the shelter to outside the shelter, which I'm sure you know about Franklin School Shelter and how it closed in 2008. And the entrepreneurs around Franklin didn't want the homeless there. And so now that the shelter is closed, those that used to be inside the shelter are outside the shelter. They're more visible. And so all you did was move the problem from inside the four walls to outside the four walls.
I understand.
You know.
I think you recall that I was one of 2 people to vote against that.
Okay, right.
All I'm saying is that there's no way to find the money without cutting from something else or raising taxes. I don't know that there's the support in the council for the tax increases that the mayor proposed. So that means it's not easy to say, well, we'll raise the taxes even beyond what the mayor proposed.
But sir, what I'm saying, no, long story short, is that if you don't put the money in, then the crisis is going to begin to dictate where you spend the money. On April 1st of next year, you're going to have a crisis, and that crisis is going to dictate where the money goes because you're going to have people all over who...
The same argument can be made with regard to the cuts to CFSA, to the cuts to... I think there are other cuts in human services programs. The same arguments can be made.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to.
Okay, what about
Your heart is really in the right place, and we appreciate you trying to do whatever you can because you recognize the problem, and that's what
We have to do more to recognize the problem. There's a relationship between unemployment.
I've tried to be supportive of human services programs. I have some colleagues who think that the way to solve the problem is we just raise more taxes. But I'm not sure that they're going to be the votes for the tax increases that are in the budget.
That's not a uniform. Mr. Brown, so you're saying that we should...
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I'm gonna jump on that.
Okay, and do a survey through the prison system and ask them how they feel about the kids wearing Oh, you going down?
I'll go up.
Okay.
But no, I'll jump on that.
Okay, beautiful, thank you.
It's all right together. Because I want to say hello to Mr. Kwame Brown.
How you doing, Eric?
Brother Kwame, I got one problem with you. You're too short. It's like
I'm too
hey,
short.
it's like, wow.
I'm eating my cabbage. I'm eating my cabbage.
Okay.
No. We don't have no problem. You cool. All right, thank you. Okay.
Mr. Brown, I think there's really.
What you want to ask me what I am supporting? Why don't you ask me what I am supporting, making sure that we have the homeless families, the funding for homeless families are restored. I am looking forward to see if we can restore some other social services cut. The only thing that I am not supportive of, and I've said this for a long time, was the rate increase from 8.4 to 8.9%.
But
So
you know,
that-
Mr. Brown, you know that 4 should really be on the other side of the decimal point. You know that 4 really should be on the other side of the decimal point. And you know what I'm saying? It should be 4%. 4%. Right. Because right now it's 0.4, right? And you know what I'm saying? I really think this city is really having like a moral, really felt. You know what I'm saying? After they made the human rights for 2 people of the same sex to be married in this city. You know what I'm saying? And to do that, when it says in the Bible and the Quran, the Lord killed people for that. You know what I'm saying? For this city to say it's a human rights, and now for us to be in a shell game with residents about a shell game. What I'm saying like it's like you're saying you don't have money for human services. You know what I'm saying? The Lord bless those who do for those who can't do for themselves. Right. That's what it's all about.
I'm very
so it's like
what we are doing is $322 million that should be fine. So you're going to do things. You have to find there have to be some cuts and there have to be some revenue enhancements. That's been proposed by the mayor. $187 million in cuts and $122 million in revenue enhancements been proposed by the mayor. We can't restore it all.
Right.
So in order for really to help more people, we have to have a government that's actually stable and able to be able to do that, right? That's the reason. Without being broke is not going to be able to help people get off their feet and provide for their family. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to do it. So what we have is a proposal from the mayor that lays out definitely different ways of his idea to do it. And I know it took a whole lot for this man to put this together because I'm pretty sure that he didn't want to send out a proposal that had a lot of cuts. And we don't want to pass one that has a lot of cuts. It's like we're not going to pass one that has a lot of revenue enhancement. There should be a balanced approach. That's why we're going to look at some areas of the budget in which we can restore. I believe that means making sure that some human services stuff are restored.
So it is balanced though. We have people who can afford to give more to those who have less. That's just human nature. That's what God asks us to do.
Okay. Can I? Hey, Mr. Brown. The only thing I want to say very quickly is that if you don't restore the money, then you're going to have a crisis.